Good afternoon. And it's a pleasure to be here. Last year I was here talking about the California State Parks and what they're doing in the K-12 community. And this is a perfect time to talk about the K-12 where we're looking for California's new generation of media creators. So the previous session talked about where are we going to find the talent? How do we let them experience what's happening? So Laura and I are going to go through it today. Quickly, I want to give you an overview of what the California Next Generation, there we go. California Student Media Festival, and it's in its 59th year. It's the longest running student media production festival in the country. So Laura, who I've not let speak though, said, you know, we're talking Silicon Valley, so she wanted to make sure I knew the dress code. So I do have my socks on, so but we'll go to the next one. So the California Next Generation Media Creators. So we have students in K through 12 who will be those students looking for careers in your various disciplines and industries. Try it again. Imagine yourself at an award ceremony. We have Oscars or Emmys happening sometime around now. So imagine you're one of 200 or 300 students with their parents in the audience, knowing that they're going to get their awards. So this has happened last year. This coming spring, there'll be a similar festival where they'll honor those winners of the California Student Media Festival. So what do the students get at the festival? Well, they empower students. They support project-based learning, creativity, and authentic audiences. But we have a member of the board of the festival, and he's going to talk a little bit about what he sees with the festival.
This is called the California Student Media Festival, and it's not called the California Student Film Festival. And the reason for that is that we're looking for all types of media. And that includes, obviously, you know, video, but it also includes photography and other mediums like AI, and even coding has been a winner. Websites have actually won. To me, why the Student Media Festival is we're saying to students, you know, your voice, your soul, your interest, the things that matter to you, who you were made to be, created to be, what you have to say matters. And how amazing is that to say to a student who's typically hearing all day long, here's what you must learn, and here's what you will be tested on, which is part of the requirement of learning. Isn't it wonderful to say to all of our students, hey, you know what? Never mind all that. What about you? What is it that matters to you? We want to hear it.
So I want to very quickly, they have elementary programs, and just going to do click, you could see those later. We're going to go to the next one. So we have middle school students creating media. Photography, websites, the like. This is one of the ones was my favorite,
the
junior high.
Occurred in Petaluma, which everybody called a sleepy little town in America where crime did not happen.
And another with acting.
Dude, what are you doing here? You shipped in here like 3 hours ago. These Karens won't leave.
And elementary, I love this one.
Hayao Miyazaki, the master of Japanese animation. Hayao Miyazaki was born in Tokyo, Japan on January 5th.
I did get one with a puppy. Well, you know you're going to success. Anyway, that was just a smorgasbord of some of the winners from last year. And what we have the real privilege here of having Laura, a classroom teacher, who had the honor of having one of her students win the festival, how many years ago?
It's 2019.
2019, and he now is a YouTube megastar.
Yes,
so first, how did you get involved in the Student Media Festival?
Well, I taught English primarily for 20 years and then transitioned into some technology-focused classes. Another teacher and I created a broadcast media class for our school, and our students did all of the work behind putting a daily news show on the air. They're 12 and 13 years old. They wrote scripts, they created PSAs, they made intros and outros, did weather and sports reports. And so film festivals were part of our curriculum. We would encourage the students to, we had a list of them online where they could find a festival that might match what they were creating, and they would submit their films. I was familiar with the California Festival because of teacher conferences, things like that. And I had one student in particular who was doing a lot of filmmaking at home with a lot of equipment that we didn't have. And so we would often share his films with the class because I could show them Hollywood movies over and over and over again, look at the different angles, the different clips, and nothing will inspire them like their own classmate who is doing something really cool and different. And then they pay attention to the camera angles. So he was really kind of a star in our broadcast class. And he showed me this film that he was working on at home. And I said, there's a festival that I think that you should enter. And so that was in 2019. And when we found out that he was a finalist, we turned to the community to raise the funds so that we could fly down there. He had 3 of his classmates who starred in the movie, so they came with us. And fortunately, all of that money for that trip, he did end up winning. It would have been tragic if we flew down there and he didn't, but he did win. So that is how the festival came to our school.
So they've been talking about the pipeline for getting people into this industry. The students who you worked with, who were doing the media work you're broadcasting, were they thinking career-wise? Was this just fun? How did a nice English teacher like you get involved in media?
Well, my involvement was because I went to graduate school and they said I should consider ed tech. And I said, no, there's no money for technology in the classroom. It's like a mirage. And they said, oh, try a class and see what you think. And I was completely sold, and it completely turned my teaching career upside down. It was the best thing that I've done in the classroom. And as far as the students go, when you're 12, 13 years old, a lot of them are not thinking about careers at that point. I'm fortunate to be at a school that offers a lot of different really interesting programs, really robust woodshop program, an outstanding band program. And so the kids are what I think they should be doing. They're exploring. They're checking out these different classes. They may not have a career in mind. The student who won the festival from our school, he'd been making movies since he could walk. So he was kind of unusual. But we do have a lot of students who, we were the only school I'm from Petaluma in Sonoma County, and we were the only school that had this broadcast program. And because of pressure from our students, the 2 high schools in Petaluma now also have broadcast programs because there were kids who wanted to continue doing that at a more serious level. They can do so much more in high school than they can in middle school.
You can see if my finger snapping works again.
There we go. That was our winning night. And I don't know. That's Kane, the filmmaker, and his classmates. And
Oops, we'll go back one.
Whoops.
There we go.
There we go. So that's, this is...
Proud teacher.
This is when he won, and then this is him on YouTube, and he has over 2.5 million subscribers, and he is not typical of the kids that I was teaching, but yeah, he's doing some pretty amazing work.
Yeah, when I saw this and saw what he was doing on YouTube, I talked to my children about how underperforming they were. So we want to open it up to you. We have a request. Look at these smiling faces. You can help them. You could be a judge. Who would be better people to help judge the festival than this emerging community, the Hollywood of Silicon Valley? You could also be a volunteer for the organization because we need to get the word out. Not every teacher is risk-taking.
That's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
As Laura. Yeah. And so if you know a teacher, know a parent who has a kid who has any interest, let them know about the festival. if you have any interest in volunteering for the festival to help in the activities, because it's totally volunteer, but they had the whole red carpet, they had media there. The kids really thought they were on cloud nine. But more importantly, we could use judges, because the festival has been around for so long because it's a true festival bringing the talent to the world and letting them be judged, not just by the parent put their paper on the refrigerator, but they created media with their stories that were seen not only by their classmates, but the rest of the people in California, and it goes beyond California. So we have some time for questions, maybe a question.
I want to end with one more thing.
Okay.
Most teachers, and I was one of them, are not experienced filmmakers. And so they're nervous about something like this. And honestly, the first thing that got me into it was a student who said, Mrs. Bradley, can I use my phone and do a video for my English book project instead of writing it? So I'm pretty comfortable just tossing it out to kids and saying, you want to run with this? Go for it. But for teachers who are a little nervous about it, the California Student Media Festival website has resources for teachers and for kids. There are rubrics so they know how their film will be judged. There's teaching resources for the teachers to help them help their kids to be filmmakers, because I was learning right alongside all of them.
Sounds great. Thank you for listening, and please get your students, your children to create media and enter the California Student Media Festival. Thank you.